Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in previous video we saw how we can configure public key authentication from a Unix server to a Isilon. But in today's video we will see how we can configure the public key authentication or the passwordless authentication to a NetApp from Unix server. So here is my NetApp and here is my Unix servers. So from Unix server I should be able to do a SSH and then a username called monitor at the rate the IP address or the FQDN of my NetApp cluster. So once I press enter, I should be able to log into the NetApp cluster without any password. So at this point of time, it is asking for a password, but what we are going to do is that we will set up the SSH key authentication so that it will not ask for any password. So what may be the reason for this? So the first reason maybe is that you may be writing a script and you don't want to mention your password anywhere in the Unix server. Second scenario maybe is the easy management, that you will be able to access all your NetApp cluster from a single Unix server. That may be one of the reason. So whatever may be your reason for configuring public key authentication, so it's a secure way to connect to cluster. So first of all, we'll have to generate a public key in the Unix server. So if you have the public key already exist in the Unix server, then you don't have to create it. You can directly use that public key. But for the demonstration purpose, I will generate a public key here. So in order to do that, you have to execute the command ssh-keygen and make sure that you are logged in with the correct username. So I have logged in with root user. So if you want to set up a authentication for a different user, so make sure you have logged in with that particular user and then execute this command. So ssh-keygen will generate a public key, but first of all it will ask for a path where you want to save the key. So id underscore rsa, it will have the private key. So if you want to give any other path, then specify the path or just hit enter. It will take the default path. Now you can already see here that it's showing it's already exists. So you can overwrite it or you can cancel this one, but I will overwrite it because I want to show you how exactly you want to create the public key. Once I hit enter, it will ask for a passphrase. So I will give default. So I will just hit enter and it will bypass it. It's again asking enter the same passphrase again, but once again I will hit enter to bypass it, and that's it. The public key has been created. Now here you will be able to see a prompt saying that your public key has been saved in this particular path. So id underscore rsa.pub is the file where your public key is stored. So you just have to read that file and you will be able to see your public key. Now this public key we will add it in the NetApp cluster. Now let's go to the NetApp cluster. Here we will have to create a user. So remember we tried to access this cluster with a user called monitor. This user may be anything you name. It's depend upon your wish. So in NetApp cluster, first of all, we will have to create a username called monitor. So that you can do by executing command security login, then create, then hyphen user or group name. And in this case, the username is monitor. And then what would be the application? The application here would be SSH and then authentication method. So here you will have to select a public key. So there are various other authentication are there, but to set up the public key authentication, you have to select public key and then you have to assign a role. So here I am assigning a role called admin. So from the Unix server, the monitor user will be able to access everything. If you don't want to give the full access, then you can use any other roles as well. For example, backup or read only. But for the demonstration purpose, I'm just giving it as admin. Now that's it, and hit enter. And a warning message you can see here that to use public key authentication, you must create a public key for the user monitor. So the next step, we are going to do that, and you can do that by executing command security login, and then you will have to type public key and then create, and then the username that you want to have for public key authentication, we already know that is monitor, and then it will ask for a index, so we will give it as it is 0, and then the public key. Now in the public key, you will have to mention the public key that you have generated in the Unix server. So just copy this public key and then come back to NetApp cluster, and remember you will have to give a double quotes. So within double quotes, you will have to mention the public key and then press enter, and that's it. So the setup is completed. Now the time is to check whether the public key authentication is working or not. So for that, go back to your Unix cluster and once again execute the command SSH monitor at the rate, and then the IP address or the FQDN of your Iceland cluster. Now you can see that it didn't ask for any password. It is directly logged into the NetApp cluster, and from here you can execute any command. So that's all for this video. Hope you have the idea now that how you can configure the public key authentication in NetApp. If you have any questions on this topic, then ask in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you will get notification about new videos from my channel. Thank you for watching.